Hey everybody, so I'm here in the car. I've decided that this is an easy place for me to record these because, one, I can be in here alone and won't disturb others, and two, it's easy for me to rest my hand up on the steering wheel. Yeah, so kind of a little update of the progress of what's kind of going on. Things have been going overall with a lot of the changes. However, today, as I was running, I felt a pop in my leg, and when I first started out, and so I kept going, felt like I could barely walk by the end, and I know that, like, I've been preparing myself for these things, and preparing myself for the possibility that, that things aren't going to be smooth sailing with it. But my preparations, I think I'm not getting enough sleep because I'm very emotional lately. So I'm sorry if I end up crying. I try not to make these cry videos. But, yeah, I don't know. Right now I'm just so feeling very scared and vulnerable because there's that side of me that has constantly been the one telling me that I can't do it, just give up, and it's the one that has been winning, and not being able, I know this sounds dumb, but not being able to run the whole thing this morning, it's been hard. I'm going to do everything that I can to keep going, keep this momentum going, but it's hard out there. There's times that, that you will run into problems, you will run into struggles, and I know that. And for me, that's what a big thing that scares me is I don't want to get back there. For me, I hit the lows. There have been many times that I've been depressed, that I've struggled with depression. That's something that I'm very open about. I know there's a lot of people that know that about me, but there's people that don't. But that's something that I've struggled with for years. I didn't realize that I had struggled with it in high school. It wasn't until a couple years after high school that I had an event going on, and it was something that I should have been happy about. I should have been thrilled, but I felt nothing. And so that's when I started seeking help. For me, it took a lot of thought and prayer and research that I decided for me the best option at that time was to get some medication to help me get out of that hole. It was just a temporary thing. I was on it for just for a time. I can't remember how long, but I ended up getting off of it with the doctor's help. That's an important thing. If you're on medication, and you want to stop it, don't just stop it. I worked with the doctor to help wean me off of it. But every once in a while, every now and then, it comes back. Like, I have to fight it. And sometimes I know things that trigger. I've been able to find things that trigger my depression, that I try and avoid those things. I don't let myself play into those. If I see something coming on, I will start trying to seek help. A big thing for me that helps is people. Being around people, getting out and interacting. But a big thing too that's helped me is really kind of taking control of my life, saying that, okay, it's okay to be me, that it's okay that like from my last video, that I'm not the big entertainment person that I think these people, that's what they want from me, that I don't have to change who I am just to get approval from somebody else. that's helped a big thing. But I think for me, I've just struggling with it, dealing with it over the years, it's a constant battle. And I have learned that you can't just let your guard down, I can't just be complacent and say, oh, I'm good now, that'll never happen again. Because it does. It's, for me, the depression has come again, and it's hit me off and on, at different times, and, there have been different triggers. Sometimes there's not even a trigger that I could find. But it's that constant battle and that constant thing of saying, okay, I've got to overcome this. For me, because things have been going so well, that this, I know it may sound stupid, but this injury, I'm just hoping is not going to take me out of everything. I'm hoping that things have progressed and changed enough, that I've done enough so far that it's not going to send me into a tailspin. And I'm going to do stuff that I, fight to not. But there's no guarantee that it won't. And if it does, I'll face it then. But I know this kind of sounds sad and depressing video, but that's kind of where I'm at, in the journey. Things were going really well. Ball just kind of, I was fresh out of the gate, but now it's kind of sinking in, and problems are starting to kind of arise. But I think that's any journey. I think that's any change. That's anything that, these problems will come up. And I knew they would. I was just hoping I could keep the momentum going for a bit longer before any problems happen, but guess not. But yeah, I think ultimately, though, it's how we approach those problems. And if we approach them with an attitude and a determination that those problems aren't going to win, I think that's what it will ultimately. That's ultimately what will help us in the end. As that's so redundant. Yeah, it's ultimately going to help us in the end. But yeah, I think that's about all I have to say on kind of the depression that I've dealt with in the past. But but a lot of people have looked at me kind of with that, is they've looked at me and thought, oh, this happy, great, this kid that has a lot going for him, and he's so happy. But even in those happy times, I've been depressed. So even if you haven't experienced depression, it's a very real thing. If you've experienced it, there are people out there. There's a lot of us out there that have experienced it. And I'd encourage you to reach out to them. And talk to people. And the other thing, too, is if you haven't experienced it, know that people go through it and they struggle with it. And I don't think you can really understand what it is that they're going through. But just be a listening ear. Don't, sometimes that's all people need is just a listening ear. So, keep the faith. Stay strong. I know if you're struggling with it, you can do it. And if you don't have anybody, or, you just feel like you want to talk to me, message me. I am here for you. So, yeah. Keep up the good work, everyone.